Spices, rugs, delicacies, only the best.
Treat
Straight
yourself.
from Chile. Take a look.
Some things never change.
Greetings. Sure, take a look.
To work if you want to achieve something. It's just how it is.
Not a good pipe of peace.
Walk blessed. Greetings. Do you need a potion to refresh your stamina, or are you a user of the arcane arts? I have all you'll ever need.
Apples, dates, bananas, the freshest fruits right from the farmer.
Oi, you...
Mouth, huh? What do you want?
Please, sit down. Work, work, work. My sir.
Walk, bless it. Oh, a bit of this and that. The roast rabbit is really good. Take a look for yourself. Safe travels. We just got a new delivery of ale. Anyone? 100 men they were.
They set out to fight for their country's banner in distant foreign lands.
What is it, sonchild?
He bid her farewell. A love still
Fair enough. Maybe there's a trick or two I could show you, but trust me, they don't come cheap.
He told her, await my safe return.
Yes, yes, yes. Just move along.
God bless you, my son.
And stand firm. Once moonlight shines red onto the seas. We shall all return in victory. There marched off blue banners in the sky, and teardrops were up from her eyes. Yet she thought, if only I believe time will bring him safely back to me. When the red moon casts its light, his ghost travels through the night, through the forest on wind's wings, until he reaches the old hill. There she kneels before his grave, where
God
their
bless you,
love
my
had
son.
once been born. And he caresses her face, yet she feels not his embrace. Dark and red glows the winter sky, two souls divided by the threads of time. Days turned into weeks, moon for moon passed by, yet no word from the battlefields arrived. Months turned into years, peace now ruled the lands, empty graves were dug under the sky. But never did she doubt his last oath. Each night she stepped out into the cold. She walked through the forest, climbed the hill where she had once sworn her love to him, and always, when summer bid goodbye and moonlight, blood red fell from the sky, his ghost raised from dust forgotten bones, searching for what he had lost too soon. When the red moon casts its light, his ghost travels through the night, through the forest on wind's wings, until he reaches the old hill. There she kneels before his grave, where their love had once been born, and he caresses her face, yet she feels not his embrace. Dark and red glows the winter sky, two souls divided by the threads of time.
That's just how it is. Everything was better in the old days.
Decades had gone by, her hair ashen and thin, realms had fallen, war and dead forgotten. When she walked the streets, they said that she was damned, a victim to a past long gone and rotten. Yet still she did not care for their words. When night came, she prayed for his return each fall, when cold winds haunted the lands she hoped to once again hold his hand. And as her last sunset drew close by, she lingered, forgotten in the night. The moon's light shines bright upon her face. She's waiting as her life fades away. When the red moon casts its light, his ghost travels through the night, through the forest on one's wings, until he reaches the old hill. There she kneels before his grave, where their love had once been born. And as she closes her eyes, a ray of light breaks through the sky, and her skin turns into dust as her soul breaks from its shell, and she joins him in the sky, to shapes now free from grief and time. Then the winds take them away, through the woods its trees his way, and she takes him by his hand. At last in peace they find their end. Dark and red glows the winter sky, two souls divided by the threads of time. Dark and red glow the winter sky, two souls united by the threads of time.
for that.
What? That's all you've got?
Hear my words, O path-abiding people of this holy city. Rumors circulate. Rumors about the horrible events of the past months.
Yeah. As if I didn't tell them that already.
Hungry for our
Apples, date. But the fresh. Streets right from the Farmer's Coast and Doonville.
Take a good long beat.
Just have to live with it.
They just sit on their asses and hope things settle themselves. Idiots.
Pray, honor your path and serve the order, and nothing shall happen to you. For the Lord holds his protective hand over us, as he has done for a millennia.
Hungry? I've got just what a weary traveler needs.
I have to remember that.
Come to Yorinto Shamgas and buy fish. Only the best and fresh from the Red Sea.
Can I help you?
Fruits, vegetables, bread fresh from the oven.
You just
Treat
wait
yourself.
and see. Fucking sissy.
Spices, herbs, delicacies.
We always go too easy on the scum.
Take a look.
Yes?
So much to do, so little time.
Yes? Walk blessed, friend. Where are you headed? Huh. So old God's hand did find someone after all. I'm glad she did. Yes, I can take you to this island, but be careful, will you? The last time I went there, I think I saw bone rippers from the distance.
amidst the sea. Before...
Yes? Have you been to the island?
Potatoes gone. Yeah, that should be it.
A sunken shrine? So you are saying whatever power lived in that temple made Rukus and the others...
The best wine in all of Enderal.
Oh, but Marvelous. It is all my fault. I've failed. If I had been there for him more, if I would have prayed more often, he would have never lost his power. I just know it. Here, take this key. It opens up a shelf in the bank. The things in there, they were meant for Rukus, for when he comes back. Now, please go. I need some space.
Keep your path, endure the plight, and one day you walk in the light. From waters dark an ancient monster rose, born from malice evil to the bone.
Which one would you like to hear? Sure.
Shivering hands and delirious eyes, brittle voices and manic minds, they roam across the land, spreading terror and dismay. Walls of fire and arrows of ice, before you can blink they have slaughtered you twice. Death is their companion and doom is their delight. Marvelous light has never shone on their face. The darkness fevers clouded the troubled brains. Mages wild and free, wicked wayward wizards. If they're pointing their fingers at you, you'll soon be crazy too. In ruins and caves they hide away, avoiding the sunlight, the brightness of day, uttering curses and hexes into the night. You never know what's beneath their disguise. They're masters of fear, illusion and lies. You won't have a chance to say your final prayer. Marvelous light has never shone on their face. The darkness fever has clouded their troubled brains. Mages wild and free, wicked wayward wizards. If they're pointing their fingers at you,
which one would you like to hear? Sure.
and they were, as they set out to fight for their country's banner in distant foreign land. He bid her
yes,
a love still.
Midnight. Between cobblestone and excretion. Between darkness and light.
Hurrah! Hurrah! Advance the fleet! Always forward! Always forward! Forward for the glory and honor! The spears at the ready, driving the swords into the bodies! The same play. Day after day.
Such
Ah, there you are. Glad you made it. So, how was it? I heard quite some stories about this trial, and was never sure what to make of it. Yeah, I changed my mind. Come, let's go upstairs. It'll be worth it. There we are. Wait a second. So, wine or pipe? Chilean Sweetwater tobacco. 100 times better than what they smoke here. Consider it a congratulatory gift for passing the trial. Nothing better than a good pipe and a nice sight to go along with it. It's always sad to see how few people can truly appreciate these things. Anyway, tell me, my friend, what is it that drives you? I've been asking that myself since we met. I mean, it's not like anyone's forcing you to play errand boy for Orenthiel, is there? And with your abilities, you could make a fortune as a mercenary. Not to mention the danger you put yourself in. Securing the excavation site, passing the trial, they certainly haven't been easy on you so far. Huh, I figure. In any case, it's interesting to see how you've gotten from being a magically gifted refugee to the center of all this. Kind of reminds me of a woman I used to travel with, Alicia. No matter where she went, she always ended up in the eye of the storm. We got hired for the same job. Usually I work better on my own, but this partnership was refreshing in every aspect. It felt good to know someone's got your back for a change, especially with the kind of work I do. Which is why we decided to stick together after that first job. And it went great, at least initially. She just cared too much, you know? Yeah, she was a mercenary, but she only ever picked the jobs where she thought she could help people, or at least do no damage. As you can imagine, that doesn't always work out in my profession, and whenever it didn't, she really took it to heart. It was sad, if you think about it, really. We traveled together, and we had sex, so yes, according to most people's definition of it, we were a couple. That was... let me think. About 3 years. Yeah, we went to Araziel, Kira, Arkwend, and one time we even fought a group of Petrified on Melee. She fought as ardently as she lived. I don't know how I would have survived that fight without her. Oh, several reasons. First of all, she was primarily a traveling healer, and used the money she got from those jobs to sustain herself. Secondly, Lycia wasn't all selflessness. She wanted to help people, yeah, but she also wanted to make experiences, I guess. Live like an eagle, love like a madman, and dream like a god. A bit cheesy, yeah, but that was her credo. Well, we were simply too different. I guess that's what it comes down to. Let's face it, I'm a pathetic white knight, and an even worse world savior. Lycia and I, we were just bound to clash. We were lovers, then friends, then lovers again, and so on and so forth. Ultimately, that was just too much for me. Too extreme. Too absorbing. Love as she defined it, yeah. Had it been for her, we would have married after that first night. That's a long story. Not one that puts me in a favorable light. At least if you like most people. Let's save that for another time. Split up. Yeah, that's one way to put it. But anyway, enough about me. What about you? Has there ever been someone in your life? Or have you always been the lone wolf? Really? That surprises me. I, for one, have had enough drama to last me a lifetime. Sex is fine, but I guess I'm just not naive enough for anything else anymore. Love, love, love. People have such wrong-headed expectations, really. Sometimes I think it would help us all to finally admit that there isn't that much that separates us from the apes. Anyway, why don't you tell me a little more about this trial? I heard you passed it together with that quiet girl, Kalia. What's she like? I've heard some stories about her. That's just life, I think. There comes a point when you've done all you can. My. We've certainly lost track of time, haven't we? I really need to hit the hay for a couple hours now. I'll have to go look for some new work tomorrow. And I've heard about a nobleman who's looking for a sellsword. That is, if Arenthiel or old Bushybeard doesn't have a new job for me by then. Say what you want about them, their pay is beyond generous. I'll see you around, my friend. Huh? Keep your chin up.
Finally, come with me. As you wish.
It is time. Come forward, Prophet. I know what you are feeling. Mistrust. For it is the first time in the history of the Order that a stranger will receive the holy consecration. You consider it a treason against our charter, and therefore against us all. And indeed, it is true that traditions have strengthened the Order. We have ruled this land for millennia, and for millennia we have prevailed. And I know that what happened 2 years ago has unsettled you. Yes, we are in a crisis. Yes, our foundation seems to be shattered. And now you believe that I profane even what little is left by consecrating a pathless one. But you are wrong. It was always people who have given strength to the Order. People like you and me. Yes, we did serve the Lightborn, but because they embodied an idea. The idea of peace through stability. And even now, after their demise, we will pursue this idea. We are facing a threat that endangers the world as we know it. And to fight it, we need one thing above all others, the readiness to make sacrifices for the greater good. This man, like Novice Sakarish, has shown this readiness. He is talented and has a gift, and thus carries responsibility. But instead of running from this responsibility, he faced it and found us. Consecrated ones, repeat my words. This is the day when my old me dies away. For today, I receive the sigil.
This is the day when my old me dies away. For today I receive the sigil.
From now on, I live to protect, by sword and mind, the path, my land, and those who are without strength.
From now on, I live to protect, by sword and mind, the path, my land, and those who are without strength.
Until death absolves me from my duty.
Until death absolves me from my duty.
Thus, you are elevated to keepers of the first sigil. Rise. Now let us all recite the holy words. Thou art my light, my glimmer at the horizon. Thy name is my sacrament, and thy path I will honor, in life as in death.
May the Lord guide
me. Leave now, brothers and sisters, and rest. We will need our strength. Go and get your armor at the Temple's Forge. After that, meet me in the Emporium. There's news. Ranks. After a novice has passed the trial, he is raised into the first sigil, and over the course of years, if he proves to be worthy, into higher ranks, up to the fourth sigil, which is held by the Truchessa and the Grandmaster, me.
Yeah, as if.
Of the first sigil, yes. Our masters will teach you, our smiths will equip you. That is all that I wanted. Walk blessed.
And that's it. It feels strange. Yes, kind of. You know, for the past 7 years, I have lived for this moment. And now I'm here. It's peculiar. Anyhow, let's talk when there's something new to talk about. Walk blessed, brother. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Prophet?
That is the prophet, isn't it?
Now, if it isn't... Ah, right. The highly debated new keeper. You suddenly have caused some uproar. I'll give you that. So, robes, mail, or plate? Fine, here you go. And no matter what you think of all this, wearing this armor is an honor. Get into your head.
Of course they have. You know how these bureaucrats are. But they will do it.
Very good. Thanks for your efforts, my friend.
Don't mention it. I just hope you know what you're doing. You know, many see the course the Order has taken since you came back as disquieting. Narazul's mages in the temple? An outlander as a keeper? It's a lot to take in.
I know, Jorik. But someone has to deal with the threat. And if we don't, no one will.
Yes, I suppose you're right. So, you actually made it, Prodigy. Congratulations. Even though I'm not sure everyone is as glad about that. Should I? I don't know if you deserve to be here. Sakaresh does. She has proven it for close to 10 years now. But you... Maybe there is something to the Grandmaster's talk about you being one of these emissaries, and maybe you can indeed help us in some way. But you're still an outsider. No matter which crest you wear on your armor, that won't change. Well, I suppose you could say that, yes. Natara, Tealor, and I passed our novitiate together. You make it sound as if the Order is some kind of mercenary guild. You don't join the Order, you're chosen for it. Both Heranthiel and I come from a bloodline older than the stones of this temple. It was our path to become keepers, and we followed it. It wasn't much of a choice. That's a different story. And not one for today. You make it... It was our path to become keepers, and we followed it. It wasn't much of a no. But enough of the chit-chat. I'm really not in the mood for it. Good luck with whatever the Grandmaster has planned for you.
Prophet, did you find your way around? Good. It is important that you get adjusted to this place. It will be the base of all operations to come. Right now, we are still in the dark as to the true nature of this cycle. All we have are fragments, but we will change that. There are 2 trails we have found. I want you to go after both of them. The first one has to do with the stone fragments from old Rashengrad. Pegast has not yet told you, but all of them together form a so-called sigilled stone, which we urgently need. The Arcanists have already put it together, but we still lack a part of the ritual to activate it. And for that, we need the memory of a dead person. The second trail revolves around a discovery we made in the Heartland. It could be a significant, if not the only prospect we have in this fight. Where do you want to start? It's simple. I've told you that the Pyreans knew about the cycle, and that they too battled it before they vanished. The sigil stone was a magical defense they created to protect themselves from the Red Madness. Through small fragments that segregate once a certain ritual is performed on it. Wear one of these fragments and it will serve you like a shield for your spirit. The stone won't produce enough for all citizens of Ark, but enough for all of us keepers and the guard. The problem is that we lack knowledge about this ritual, and those who have it have been dead for millennia. Correct. The entire plan revolves around a discovery which is exhibited in the Chronicum. The frozen corpse of a Pyrean, which a fisherman found adrift in the Northern Sea some years ago. Yes, the ice prevented his body from decaying. But go to the Chronicum and speak to Archmagister Maragil. He will be able to explain it better than I can.
Walk blessed.
So, you actually made it, Prodigy. Congratulations. Even though I'm not sure everyone is as glad.
Yes?
Greetings!
We always go too easy on the scum. Yeah, it's not as if I didn't tell them that already. Huh? Can I help you?
Monsieur?
Oh, hey.
So what's so spectacular about this? To me, our pal here looks like your average crypt corpse.
Well, he isn't. Do you see this marking on his forehead? That's a symbol of the Ashian, one of the two priest castes who reigned over the Pyrean Empire like the Lightborn did over Vin. He was no high priest, but more than an acolyte. Let's just hope he participated in the manufacture of the sigil stone back in the Pyrean era.
Well, hoping can't hurt. But look, we have company.
Hello.
Archmagister, how's the situation?
I do? Thought I had gotten rid of it by now. But yes, I'm originally from Nirim. Just like you, as I've heard. Oh, I don't know. Probably because I don't have very fond memories of my time there. You know, if someone would have told you 20 years ago that one day I would be the Archmagister of the Holy Order, you'd have probably laughed in his face. It's absurd just to think of it. You know, I was a slave there. Yes, you see, I was born into a traveling group of Aeterna minstrels. I never got to know my father, though, and living that way was hard. So my mother eventually decided to burn all bridges behind us and start over. Sorry, I'm babbling. I don't want to bother you with my boring stories. Well, after some days on the road, we met a traveling merchant who gave us a ride to the next village, a small one named Sildren in the Salathan forest. It seemed almost perfect at the beginning. The place was quiet, and my mother found herself a job as a weaver in the local count's castle. One day, however, the count simply stopped paying her, and, well, when she asked for the reason, he told her that we were his property from that moment on, just like that. Why wouldn't it be? We were just a woman and a young son, and he owned both the land and the local guard. We had to serve this Creole, that was the count's name, for 9 years. It was horrible. No one. We weren't the only slaves he kept, and the villagers were too afraid to do anything. As for Chancellor Baratheon's armies, well, I'd be surprised if they even knew Sildren existed. Pure luck, I suppose. One day, an Enderalayan merchant and his escort passed through the village. They were on their way to Wave Rock to catch a ship from there. And just by coincidence, he saw me crushing some herbs I had found in the forest. That's what I did in the little spare time I had, you know. The Salathan forest is so incredibly rich with plants you have no idea. What I didn't know was that I had found an entire sheaf of God's tongue. That impressed the merchant so much that he simply bought me. He left her there. Believe me, what he did had nothing to do with mercy. He just saw that there was money to be made off of me. I cried and protested, of course, but 2 months later, our ship arrived in Ark, where he got infected with flesh maggots and died shortly thereafter. Luckily enough, he was a sublime. And since his relatives didn't know what to do with me once he was dead, they simply asked the Order to grant me the novitiate, which they did. By the left path sounds crazy when I tell it like that, and it probably is. But back then, it just happened. I tried, but as you can imagine, my obligations made my options to do so very limited. Only recently, however, word reached me from a mercenary whom I sent over. According to him, Creo is dead, and his castle was deserted. But who knows if he just said that to appease me. I think when all of this is over, I might ask the Grandmaster for permission to travel there myself. And then, who knows? By the righteous path, now I really am babbling. I am sure a man like you has better things to do than listen to the stories of a boring old chronicler. I should probably get back to business. Forgive me. Walk blessed, Grandmaster. We're fine. Everything is ready. So this is him?
Yes, this is the Prophet.
Interesting. Truly interesting. I imagined you to be different. I'm Lexiel Marigil, Archmagister of the Holy Order. Pleased to make your acquaintance. So, where do we start? Has the Grandmaster already informed you of the goal of this mission? Correct. Now you're wondering, how will this be possible? This is where the Word of the Dead comes into play. An old relic we'll need to find.
The Word of the Dead? I thought that was a legend.
No, it exists. And we also know where. Just so you understand, the Word of the Dead is an artifact that allows entering a deceased person's mind to relive his last memories as if they were your own.
And you want to do just that with our frozen pal here. This is the grand plan, right?
Right. You'll need to locate the Word of the Dead, teleport the Pyrean's body to you, and then enter his thoughts. And there you'll have to look for the words of the ritual. Well, we only lack the last words of this ritual. What you have to look for is an ornamental scroll, which looks just like the one on the drawing I'll give you in a moment. All you have to do is remember the glyphs and the scroll, then write them down once you're back in the waking world. True, but we're talking about a different form of magic. It works similarly to the forbidden school of entropy. That's right, but the priest himself did, and according to the legend, this should allow you to understand. You're telling me. I myself feel like a myriad in a toad's pond. But alternatively, we'd have to excavate every ruin on Vin and hope that some priest left one of the scrolls behind. Well, this is...
There's an old manor in Enderal's West that belongs to an old collector of artifacts. We received a tip that the Word of the Dead is in his possession.
Hang on. Are you talking about this odd fellow with the puppets? The aged man from the folk song?
I am. You won't take it. It will be enough to find it. Use it on the Pyrean, and then leave. You will travel to the manor with Dalvarek, wait for nightfall, and then introduce yourself to the aged man as a fellow collector of artifacts. Then you will offer him this brooch, and, if all goes well, he will offer you a quarter for the night to negotiate in the morning. Then it's all a matter of timing. Sneak out of your room, look for the Word of the Dead, and teleport the Pyrean to you.
'Well, this is... There's an old manor in Enderal's West that belongs to an old collector of artifacts. We received a tip that the Word of the Dead is in his possession. Well, we only lack the last words of this ritual. What you have to look for is an ornamental scroll, which looks just like the one on the drawing I'll give you in a moment. Then, write them down once you're back in the waking world.
A good question, but no. The aged man is special, so to speak. Even the Lightborn ordered us to let him live in peace. The Black Guardian knows why. So, if we have to trick him, we will at least do it inconspicuously, which is why you and the mercenary are well suited for the task. No one will connect your faces to the Holy Order. Then you'll flee. There must be no violence, no matter what happens. Archmagister?
Yes, well, that is a good point. We don't know, because we don't even know what the artifact looks like. But, how goes the saying? The proof of the eating is in the pudding.
We'll manage somehow. And even if we don't, it definitely sounds like an adventure.
It's a great responsibility, be aware of that. But I have faith in both of you. Now get going as soon as you can. This mission will be fruitful. I can feel it.
Whew. And there they go. Yep, just meet me at the Myrids Tower at the Western Cliff. I'll go grab my stuff now.
Prophet?
One day, Nea. One day.
What?
Yes.